Ever wonder how your sensory awareness and your structural preferences will affect your body as you interact with the ground? Ever wonder how the body creates stability and effectively transfers forces from the ground up? Or perhaps you're looking to get a fresh perspective on how your body works as an integrated system. If you've answered yes to either of these questions and I've piqued your interest a little bit, you're in the right place. My name is Michael Petro, Integrative Performance Specialist and Master Instructor with Evidence-Based Fitness Academy, rocking it barefoot strong, and here today to share with you a series I put together that I believe will help expand the way that you view and deal with the body. In this series, we're going to take a look at two specific topics, that of stability and efficiency. And as we look at these, we're going to look at these in light of our body's sensory awareness and structural preferences and see how this will influence overall movement economy and affect peak performance. Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Super excited to be able to share with you this new series on stability and efficiency. With episode 1 here today, we're going to be talking specifically about stability and efficiency. And we're going to look at those by defining terms and getting a better understanding of those concepts and how they relate to our body's sensory awareness and structural preferences, and understanding how those all interact and how that ultimately will affect our body's movement economy and its ability to operate and function at peak performance. So as we look at these two topics of stability and efficiency, we're going to look at how they work together in an integrated fashion and how the external world or environment will affect the internal and how those will affect both stability and efficiency within our bodies. So with the topic of stability, we're going to look specifically at perceived stability and how the body perceives safety, and in turn, how it creates tension and creates stability within the human system. So with the topic of efficiency, we're going to look specifically at movement efficiency and how the body as an integrated system moves efficiently and economically from the ground up. As we explore these topics, we're going to look specifically at how our sensory awareness in our body and our structural preferences play a strong role in influencing our perceived stability and our movement efficiency. With regards to sensory awareness, we're looking specifically at how the body takes in information from the environment, how it processes that information. So with regards to structural preferences, we're really talking specifically about positions and patterns that our own bodies prefer. And that's going to vary per person because each of us has different genetics. We all have different upbringings. We all may have sustained different traumas and injuries over the years. We all have different repetitive patterns that we put or positions we put ourselves in, or movements we do on a regular basis. And all of that is going to affect our movement efficiency as well as how our body perceives safety. So sensory awareness and structural preferences go hand in hand and they work very intimately together. Now, an example of this from a sensory perspective would be, I go into an environment and I'm not used to that environment. I'm not used to the sounds, I'm not used to the people, I'm not used to the textures around me, the smells, whatever. Whatever the environment is bringing, I'm not used to that. My body may respond in a specific way due to the perceived safety that it feels. In other words, I might close up and get tight, I might puff up and get wide. I might actually just tighten up my body in various positions, or I might have my own position that I go to make myself feel more secure and more safe. And because of that, the tension that comes from creating stability influences our structure. And if we look at our structure and the preferences that we have, it goes back the other direction. If I am in this position all day, which most of us do because we're on computers and doing computer work or texting or whatever, because of that, we're going to get tightness or tension in through here. This will affect blood flow to the local area, as this might trap this area and restrict blood flow. It might also affect the ability to connect here as well as here and anywhere else in the body, because the body wants to be safe. So it's going to lock down patterns in positions that it feels safe. So here is where we can see how our sensory awareness and our structural preferences play an intimate role in working with each other, but how they also affect our perceived stability and our movement efficiency. Another great example of the sensory and the structural working hand in hand is seen in gym and or athletic environments. And what I mean by that is we might have specifically a runner. And a runner is moving straight ahead. They're going straight ahead as they do their thing. And if I have them, and I say, and I get this from people all the time, if I have them do, instead of doing a straight ahead move, I have them do like lateral moves, or I have them do like a squat or something lateral, or lunge laterally, they're not sure how to do that because they're used to doing this movement, especially if they do marathons and they do that all the time. If you're in this position, the body wants to be safe and strong in that position, so those tissues are going to tighten up to make that person better at this straight ahead movement. So anytime we go outside of those movements, it's going to vary tremendously. Now, taking this step another step further is in the gym environment. If I have, there's a lot of people will do these plie squats. There's nothing wrong with those. A lot of people like those to feel the glutes and whatnot and go for it. But as they do this is a pattern that they do on a regular basis. And if I have them go through a screening process, or I just say, hey, I'm just going to watch you move, and we're going to just do the squat. Arms are going to go overhead, and I just want you to move and come down like that. They're going to do the squat. This is usually what it's going to look like. Their feet are going to bow out, and they're actually going to come down just like this. And I'm going to say, okay, that's good, and I'm going to have them pull back, and I'm going to say, okay, let's try it where you're pointing straight ahead and see what we do. And then what's going to happen usually is those knees are going to go out because that person or that individual is used to doing this movement. So I'm taking them outside of what they're comfortable doing. That's a perceived threat to the body, and the body's not going to want to go there. So this is where you can see how introducing something new from a sensory perspective will influence the structure, and how the structure plays a huge role in influencing the sensory. So movement efficiency can go up or down. That's relative towards an individual, what they're trying to accomplish. Now, for the purposes of this series, we want to look specifically at movement efficiency as being more economical movement. In other words, regardless of what the skill is or that you're trying to develop or the pattern that you're trying to incorporate, there is a way to be more economical to where your body can transfer forces more effectively from the ground up. And that's really what we're going after in this series. As we change one or both of those, that will affect the movement efficiency, whether it takes it up or it takes it down. So in the summary today, we took a look at stability, we also took a look at efficiency. And we defined our terms and we got a better idea of what we're talking about here. Now, we also brought in the influence of sensory awareness and structural preferences and how those have a very intimate relationship with each other, but how those ultimately will affect movement efficiency and perceived stability. Now, in this next episode, we're going to be doing a deeper dive on just that. We're going to be talking about the sensory, the structural, and how those ultimately will affect movement efficiency. So if there's a lack or suboptimal, we're going to see how that comes together and how that ultimately will affect one's movement efficiency from the ground up. Thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully you pulled a couple pieces of information from this discussion today that you can take and apply directly to your world and our client programs. If you're a practitioner and I've piqued your interest on some of these topics here and you want to do a deeper dive on them, we have an amazing amount of resources available for you. Not only will I be releasing more videos here, but we have some amazing resources through our YouTube channel, EBFA Fitness. There's a link down in the comments box for that. Check that out. That's got an amazing amount of information that Dr. Emily's done a great job of putting together over the years for. That's all free for you to check out and binge on if you would. Also, we have workshops that are going on throughout the world, live workshops. We also have an online one as well, and that's all down in the links below. Dr. Emily Splickle is teaching some of those workshops. Some other master instructors are teaching some. I'm teaching some. Great content, great information where we do a lot more of a deeper dive on not only foot anatomy, barefoot science, brain science, gait patterning, whole bunch of good information through the Barefoot Training Specialist program. So check that out. Check down the comments box below. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, leave that there down in the comments box below as well. I'd love to interact with you, keep the conversation going, help you in your journey here with yourself and or your client programs. So it's been a pleasure. I look forward to future discussions with you. As always, keep it barefoot strong. I'll see you next time. Peace out.